we have 136 participants in this training, and we are so happy to be with you. Once again, I am Vivian Intatano. You may call me Bam. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to share whatever we know on our topic for this morning. And so in case you have any questions later on, we may also use our chat box, or you may also ask permission from the host, from the MC, to be recognized. Okay, so hindi natin patatagalin dahil maraming ituturo mamaya sa atin yung ating kasama from America. Hindi pa siya, baka mapuyat siya, so umpisahan ko na ng mabilisan. Okay, let me share my screen first. Okay, so my topic, I'm here to share something about instructional coaching, which I believe most of us are familiar with, especially if you are a master teacher, if you are a head teacher, or particularly if you are a principal. Of course, as instructional leaders, it is important that we also know instructional coaching. So whatever I will be discussing right now, if this is new to you and worth sharing, I hope you will also give this a chance in your school to apply whatever you will learn. And if you already know whatever will be discussed today, maybe this will just be a sort of reflection for all of us. How far are we now when it comes to instructional coaching? Okay, as what the title says here, it's a partnership approach to improving instruction. Okay, coaching versus mentoring. So medyo magkaroon muna tayo ng konting definition of terms. Let us unlock some words. No? Sometimes these two terms are being used interchangeably. So let us define what mentoring and coaching is. All right, if you're looking for a guidance, support, and insights from someone who's been where you are and is now where you one day hope to be, well, actually, you are looking for a mentor. So a mentoring is a sort of, it's a long-term giving advices. No? So ako, I see my supervisors as my mentor. I see my principal as my mentor. I also have my friends who serve as my mentor because I see their practices, I see their attitudes, I see their professional works. So that's why I look to them as my mentor. Okay, so pag sinabi namang if you need right now at this moment and you want to be trained by a trained practitioner or an expert to provide accountability and partner with you on the journey to achieving a certain goal, well, you are needing a coaching, or you will be needing a coaching. It's a professional coach is the ideal candidate to help you unlock your potential. That's why most of the time we see, sa mga feed natin sa ating FB, minsan may nakalagay business coach, learn business coaching, learn fitness coach. They wanna have a fitness coach? Sabihin ng mga advertisement, try this program, okay? So even si Heidelin Diaz, diba? She has a coach. At one time sa interview, sabi niya, ang coach daw niya, siya nag-focus lang siya sa work niya. Yung coach niya, sinusunod lang niya kung anong sinasabi. So may coach din sila. How much more with us in our work, no, as teachers? We also need coach. And there is a need for instructional coaching. Ako nga, sa sobrang curiosity ko, because I heard the word life coach, kasi I've been practicing this instructional coaching since I learned this from my program in US, and then we were given a book of Night, which will be our focus of our discussion, yung author ng instructional coaching. Since then, I've been I have already embraced what an instructional coaching is. So one time I read about life coach, or how to be a life coach. No? So out of my curiosity, I enrolled to that. That's why I'm a certified life coach as well. Yung pala, and my difference. And I've seen the difference of what a life coach is with what an instructional coach is. But one thing is, but there's also similarity, being there, no, to achieve a goal. So our session for today and tomorrow will be more on instructional coaching, other than mentoring. Okay. All right, instructional coaching. So for our session today, we will be discussing some instructional coaching 101. So what does it look like? We will be discussing also the 4 big issues in coaching. So this might serve also as your reflection at the moment while you're listening to me and looking at my slides, or while you are doing the screenshots of my presentation. This might be a jump start of your reflection. These 4 big issues and how you address it. Okay. Partnership mindset, we will also be discussing that, and the impact cycle. And of course, the 5 activities to accelerate implementation. And you will be learning about the different tools that we can use in implementing this, in following the 5 activities or implementing these activities. Okay, what does coaching look like? Coaching actually is a partnership. So it's a partnership between the teacher and the coach. So the coach in our setting, because in USU we learn from our speaker, instruction may job talaga for an instructional coach. But here in our setting, in the Philippines, instructional leaders such as the master teachers, the head teachers, the principals, the supervisors, they may act as an instructional coach. Pwede rin ba yung mga teachers lang? I mean, not lang, I mean just the teacher, not the master teacher. Can they also act as coach? Yes, of course, as long as they are skilled to do what a coach does. Okay, it's an advocacy. It advocates for best practices for students learning, listening for understanding, questioning, and sharing. Take note of the elements. No, students learning, listening for understanding, questioning, and sharing. So that's what coaches advocate. It's listening to improve educational outcomes. So we have our standards, we have sets of essential competencies, and our goal is to listen to improve educational outcomes. Building relationship with teachers first, and sitting together and thinking what kind of students we have and what we need. So that's coaching. So you build relationship with teachers, and then you find creative ways and help them meet their goals in a meaningful way, and then moving forward. So that is coaching. If you are doing that, well, welcome, of course. If you're doing that, you are a coach. You are not just an instructional leader, but particularly you are doing instructional coaching. Coaching is the most beneficial training leading to better teaching by educators and better learning by students. How will it be beneficial? How will it lead to better teaching by educators? As we progress with our discussion until tomorrow, I think you will get one by one, how can it be beneficial to teachers? How we can help teachers to be better educators if you are instructional coach. And what does an instructional coach do? Instructional coaches partner with teachers to analyze current reality, set goals, identify and explain teaching strategies to hit the goals, and provide support until the goals are met. So just like in lesson planning, we do set goals, but if you are an instructional coach, you partner with the teacher to attain these goals. And to put it simply, instructional coaching makes it easier for teachers to meet the needs of their students. Kasi bakit? May ka-partner na eh, no? No, sabi nga nung isang bangko, you're in good hands. Why? The teachers are in good hands because there are instructional coaches. Okay, especially for the new ones, no? Instructional coaching is really needed, not only for the new, but of course for the teachers, because teachers will be in good hands if they are in the hands of a good instructional coach. The purpose of instructional coaching model is to help close the student achievement gap. So if there are learning loss or learning gaps, and accelerate learning for all students by building teacher capacity through implementation of effective instructional practices. So the instructional coaches will act as lens so that the teachers will also be directed to reflect on their own teaching and learning practice. And the primary responsibility of instructional coaches is to improve classroom instruction and increase student achievement. Coaches do not, remember this, coaches do not evaluate, but the main purpose is to improve classroom instruction and increase student achievement. What if we sit on our class and then we grade the students, or we grade the teachers? We grade the teacher's performance according to the achievement of the students. Is that coaching? Is that coaching? Coaching kaya yon? It's not coaching because you are there as evaluator of the teaching and learning practice. But if you are a coach, you are there to improve classroom instruction and increase student achievement. In our online learning nowadays, this is more important other than grading the teacher. Because when you grade the teacher in an online setting, hindi natin kabisado with a lot of factors like intermittent internet connection, devices of the students, resources ng teachers and learners. Evaluating the teachers in front of the screen, parang hindi siya bagay, although we need to because we have to comply with the IPCRF for the public schools. But actually, what our teachers need now in an online learning, in a distance learning, and whatever learning modality you apply in your provinces or in your division, what they need now is instructional coaching. Because with this kind of approach, our purpose is we improve classroom instruction and increase student achievement. We partner the teachers. That makes it instructional coaching. There are 4 big issues for in implementing the instructional coaching. You have behavior, content knowledge, direct instruction, and formative assessment. So behavior, teachers need to create safe, productive learning community for all students. Coaches need to guide teachers. So ito ngayon yung magiging role ni teachers. Articulate and teach expectation, effectively correct behavior, and increase the effectiveness of praise statements, and increase opportunities for students to respond. So if we see this, if we are aware of this behavior, well, this is actually what you see on the right of my screen is what will be our role as instructional coaches. Siguro yung mga tools na maituturo namin, we can or di-discuss natin, or what we will do, whatever tools we will share to you, you can help us address behavior. Address this issue. Content knowledge. Teachers need to have a deep understanding of the content they are teaching. For the seasoned teachers, siguro yung content knowledge hindi na masyadong ganun ka-issue. No? But of course, especially when we, in public school, we are implementing the essential competencies. Okay, and then may mga sometimes naliligaw and all that. Ito na si instructional coach. Ito na yung help na kailangan nila. No? Coaches need to help teachers to translate standards to lessons. So kaya kailangan knowledgeable si coach with the content. So if you will be coaching a math teacher, you should know what the content of math, of course. If you are coaching a science teacher, you have to learn to translate standards to lesson. How can we gain, or how can we align our lessons with essential competency number 1 of unit 1? So dapat may mga ganyan na tayong mga elemento. We have to unpack standards. How can we unpack it? Making it easier for the students to learn that topic. So yung essential competencies, a coach should be knowledgeable to at least to identify what are the essential topics. No? We are unpacking the standards and essential and effective strategies. So yun ang isa sa mga kailangan nating we need to be knowledgeable of as coaches. As coach, we need to plan courses, units, and lessons, and we have to be knowledgeable of prioritizing what content to teach. Another issue is on direct instruction. Instruction can be improved when teachers first provide an advanced organizer, of course, to model the thinking involved in whatever processes are being learned, and ask a lot of high-level questions. So ito yung mga kailangan sa direct instruction. Ensure that students are experiencing engaging, meaningful activities. So the teachers under our supervision, under our care, under our coaching needs this kind, needs to address this issue. So coaches need to share with teachers powerful instructional practices. So knowledgeable dapat si coach now with all the teaching practices, with all the tools available, especially right now that we are having online teaching for most, and others kapag walang internet, walang not capable of online learning. How can we assist the teachers? What strategies, what practice can we teach? Can we share to our teachers? No? So that we can ensure students are mastering the content. Napa-online, no? Napakalaking challenge sa atin yan. Okay? Another one is on formative assessment. Teachers need to know if their students are learning the content and reasoning being taught. And that's possible with formative assessment. So we are all familiar with the different reasons why we need formative assessments and how to do formative assessments, no? And teachers can make it easier for students to become motivated by clearly defined learning targets, enabling students to monitor their own progress, providing constructive feedbacks. And coaches can help teachers collaborate to help become assessment literate by providing proper tools, equipping ourselves with proper skills needed, no? and whatever tools for formative assessments, which we can also share for our teachers. Coaches are most effective when they act as critical friends, simultaneously providing support and empowering teachers where they can improve. So it's actually setting, we develop a deeper and complete understanding of the coaching process and practices. So hindi boss ang tingin. If you are a coach, hindi dapat boss ang tingin ni teacher sa'yo. Okay? Kailangan there is a friendly environment. The teacher needs to feel that we support whatever she wants to do with the class, but of course with our guidance and correct way of implementing it, we can empower teachers, no? and the teachers can improve. Okay. There is a need to deepen engagement in classroom and best utilize coaching tools and resources. So these are what we need. These are actually what we need to do as coaches. And Jim McKnight shared to us or created this impact cycle for coaching. So may 3 distinct phases siya. Identify, learn, and improve. Identify the goals, identify the learning gaps, identify the essential competencies that we need to improve. And then teachers will learn from it. Okay? Teachers will learn through our sharing. Teachers will learn through our input. Teachers will learn through his or her own reflection. And when that will be implemented, the goal is to improve. What will be improved is students' achievement and students' learning. And of course, improve practice of the teacher. So ayan uli, it will be a cycle. May in-implement kang strategy, you share the strategy. May in-implement kang practice, ginaid mo si teacher, in-implement ni teacher, and then you observe again, nakita yung improvement. Again, we can identify, go back to identify. Identify naman yung strength, no? So why it is a cycle? Kasi once the teacher will learn, ang goal niyan lagi is to improve, and then to identify again. So ano pang ibang i-identify natin? Ano yung mga na-miss out? What is still needed? How can it be improved? Okay, so that's the impact cycle. And there are 5 activities to accelerate implementation of instructional coaching. So what you see are 5 activities we can do to accelerate implementation of ICs or instructional coaching: collaborating, modeling, observing, providing feedback. Usually observing and providing feedback they go hand in hand, and we provide support. So these are the 5 activities. Okay, and later on, as we move forward hanggang bukas, you will be learning different tools, mapa online, and then some sort of tools like checklists, and we will also be sharing some playbook from Night, which can also be downloaded at the website of Corwin. So let's start with collaborating. Coaches make it possible for teachers to take time to have real conversations about teaching. So dapat may spirit of collaboration. So it's not only one teacher who dominates your department or who dominates everything, but also lahat, no? You encourage. As coach, we encourage collaboration, especially collaboration on sharing of best practices. Okay? Like now, no, sa DepEd, we keep on having several programs na, ang daming mga kailangan i-submit, kahit mga data and all that. Okay, the coaches will help. May magagawa tayo. Let us make it, mabigat na yung nararamdaman ng teachers. So as coaches, we can help them lighten their load. Paano? They have to see the sense of or the spirit of collaboration, na hindi yung isang tao lang lagi nating ina-assign. So they can be having separate roles, and then they will do together a certain task. So my collaboration. So if we as coaches, if we share or we first engage them to collaborate on certain activities. So in that sense, we can say that we're doing it, we're a good coach. Another one is modeling. By going into classroom and showing them how to implement an intervention, so we do it first. We teach by doing it. Okay? So nowadays, dahil nga naka-online tayo, we model to our teachers. How can we model? Let's say, for example, I would like them to learn a specific tech tool. So during our meeting, I use that kind of tech tool. Even for not teaching a content, but for them to realize how it is done and how it works and how effective it is, I model it first. So I let them use it. I just don't say, gamitin mo yung mood meter kasi maganda yan for SEL. I don't just do that. But during our meeting, I let them use the mood meter. And then later on, when I observed their classes, I was able to see all of them. They are all implementing mood meter before the start of their class to show or to exercise or to practice yung integration ng socio-emotional learning for students. It's a simple activity. So modeling is very much important. And we can only model if we are also equipped with the tools and with the skills needed. Observing and providing feedback. No two people see the same class the same way. That's why there is a need for us to provide feedback. In my case, I always engage my master teachers to help me in providing feedback. And I also train them to be instructional coach, not just to rate the teachers. So how is it done? Kailangan may partnership conversation. Okay? So like what I've said a while ago, the teacher should feel a friendly, gentle reminder, a friendly voice. So kailangan may partnership conversation. There is a clear goals of why you are doing the instructional coaching, and also the tone, the proper tone, di ba? Parang ano lang yan eh, pag sinabi sa'yo na, ingat ka, di ba, ang gandang pakinggan. Pero pag sinabi, when you hear somebody say, ingat ka, di ba, it's two different meaning. Same thing when we give feedback to our students, our teachers, even, take note, even in in chat. Kasi most of the time we chat, di ba? We give instruction through chat. Kaya kailangan medyo we have to learn the proper way of saying things, no? Communication, proper way of doing, of saying or giving feedback, no? Which want to be improved, no? That's why it is important to say during or halimbawa mag-postcon kayo before after ng observation mo, magandang kamustahin mo muna siya and say, how do you feel about what your class now? How do you feel about the strategy? Kamustahin siya. So in that case, the teacher will feel na merong partnership conversation. Hindi yung pagsara ng screen, dati no, pag upo, ito, mali yung ganito mo eh. Dapat mas maigi na ganito ginawa mo. Di ba? Parang wala ng partnership conversation doon. Pag out ng mga bata, ano yung ginamit mo? Hindi ka marinig. Ano yun? Ha? So it's a different way, it's a different acceptance, no, para sa teacher, and it will be difficult for the teacher to reflect. Kasi bakit? Mauuna sa kanya yung, teka lang, parang wala na akong nagawan tama, no? Kaya there should be a partnership conversation. We have to establish a partnership, a good partnership conversation. And we will be sharing to you some checklists as tools to check, parang checklist natin to find out if we are doing a good partnership conversation, if we're implementing that. So maybe we can share that tomorrow after nung sa tech tools natin. And of course, proper tools. When we say proper tools, it can be a tech tool, it can be a hard copy, it can be found in the internet. So pwedeng may tech tools, which will be our next discussion. Na? So ito yung for observing and providing feedback, which we need to conduct an effective instructional coaching. And providing support. IC's job, our job, is to provide support for teachers to help their students. Paano support? When you give them the role of sharing a professional reading or assigning them for a tech in focus, or if you have a tech time, let them share their knowledge. So you are also giving support. If the teachers are assigned by the division to write and you allow them, you're providing support. Okay. If the teacher would like to implement this kind of strategy, you are empowering the teacher. So parang hindi maganda yan eh, mas maganda ito, subukan mo. No? I remember when I was still a teacher and I had a demonstration teaching. May dalawa kaming demonstration teacher, the same topic. And yung sa akin, division, and then the other one was national. Okay, way back ago na yun, ano. And my coach that time, she allowed me to use whatever I've researched. Then I showed it dun sa isa naming coach na mag-coach nung national. Sabi niya, ay hindi yan, mas maganda ito, gamitin mo. O yun yung pinagamit niya dun sa national. And there were observers who both attended my division demonstration and the other national. And because my coach that time allowed me to use the strategy that I researched, hindi pa uso na ng internet. Uso naman na, pero hindi pa ganun ka, na everything you can find in the internet. But I was able to find one. So it turned out, to cut the long story short, mas maganda yung feedback. No? And that is where I got my, she earned my trust. So whatever ng good, whatever practices I got from her, talagang I treasured it until now. Retired na yung teacher na yon, retired na yung master teacher ko yun. But that was a very, very remarkable experience. Unforgettable ko talaga. Kasi I got a better grade than that of the national demonstration teaching. Why? Because my mentor, my coach that time, I still remember her name, Ma'am Lydia, she allowed me to use. No? She supported me with what I know. Siguro nakita din niya kasi na maganda, no? So yon. And then when we can also show support to our teachers by allowing them to share something during the LAC sessions or during your professional meetings. So that is important, providing support. As instructional coach, how do you provide coach or how do you provide support to your teachers? Okay. So one of the mentoring program that I developed before the start of class this school year is a roles program. So I had a roles program that is a rehearsals for online learning experiences for synchronous teaching. So its objective was to practice the teacher from turning on, from entering the Google Classroom to presenting the screen, to learning to use the technology, to learning how to react to students, up to what will happen if you will be lagged out unexpectedly. So yun yung purpose ng roles na coaching program that I developed, no? And I conducted. Okay, during that coaching program, so all teachers were given time to create or to implement. I have 18 teachers, and then one by one they do the simulation. So we practice na yung mismong content nila for the first week. And the good thing is I allowed them. So paano reflecting on the 5 activities, I gave them collaborative activities. I make use of a Padlet as a tech tool, wherein I assigned one by one how to use that. So for them to be practice also of how to use that in collaboration, for feedbacking, for giving feedback to their peers. So I assigned one person to one teacher to create a Padlet, a note for feedback. And then the other day, the other session, meron silang rotation ng task. Okay, so in that case, come first week of implementation until the end, I was very much confident that my teachers were able to do it excellently. Kasi bakit? Umpisa pa lang, we already had the coaching program to prepare them. And then as online teaching and the distance learning progresses, my master teachers and I, together with my principal, we collaborate together to give also instructional coaching to our teachers. Hindi naging madali kasi wala naman talagang prepared with what we are experiencing right now. But of course, with the support that our teachers felt, I'm sure medyo hindi ganun kabigat. No, ang dami nilang challenges with this distance learning, but because they were provided with proper coaching, they were provided with support, they felt that, no, we believe na medyo everybody ended up smiling. Ngayon pa lang they are already preparing something for their classes kahit na bakasyon na. Okay, so that's how an example of an instructional program that I conducted in my school. Okay, my dear fellow educators who are here right now joining us, I am encouraging everyone to develop a coaching program that supports our teacher. And later on, with our next speaker, you will be learning more on how instructional coaching should be done using effective tools for your teachers. Good morning and mabuhay po tayong lahat.